Chapter 1. Send your family my regards. La Maison Funeraire Crossroads, or the Crossroads Funeral Home, sat quietly near the misty banks of the Mississippi River. A winding gravel lane, shaded by tall cypress and willow trees, was the only sign of its presence. The building's dark wooden walls and detailed ironwork showed the wear of many storms and hidden stories. Ivy climbed the columns, and moonflowers and wild ferns grew thick around the house, blending it into the surrounding shadows. During the day, sunlight filtered through the thick leaves, creating shifting patterns on the gravel path. At night, the funeral home faded into the darkness, with lanterns glowing behind stained glass windows that showed mysterious symbols and old saints. The air felt heavy with respect, broken only by the wind in the trees, the distant sound of frogs, and the steady flow of the river as it circled the property. Surrounded by stories and secrets, the Crossroads was run by its mysterious owner, Jacques Abgel. He was tall and thin, with long grey locks and sharp, intelligent eyes that seemed to search for hidden truths. He carried himself with the same strength as the black granite slabs at the entrance, each one marked with ancient runes that warned away intruders. Details like the iron gate with strange symbols and the stone gargoyle above the door suggested this was a place where the line between life and death was thin, and where Mr. Abgel was in complete control. Getting an appointment at the Crossroads was a strict rule, not just a suggestion. The funeral home's exclusive nature both attracted and discouraged people, keeping its doors closed to anyone not invited. This policy created a sense of mystery, drawing in only the bravest while keeping the timid and curious at bay. Mr. Abgel was well respected in secretive circles, with his reputation spoken of in hushed tones and hidden writings. He was known for his perfect funeral ceremonies, which honored the dead and comforted the living, and for his quiet partnerships with top medical experts and famous forensic pathologists. These connections let him handle the most unusual and disturbing cases: bodies with impossible wounds, organs that didn't match human anatomy, or skin marked by scales, claws, or glowing tattoos. When he was present in a mortuary or coroner's office, it usually meant a strange or otherworldly body was involved. What made Mr. Abgel truly unique was his deep knowledge of demonology and the supernatural. He could quickly spot an old binding symbol carved into bone, describe the eating habits of minor demons, or explain rare types of possession and exorcism. Pathologists listened closely as he explained the hidden stories behind the strange bodies they examined. Each demon, hybrid, or monster was a reminder of old battles. His talks mixed science with dark stories about wars, tragic deals, and the ongoing struggle between good and evil. Many people left his presence feeling both wiser and unsettled by what they had learned. Getting rid of these bodies was a ritual filled with fear and respect. The process was secret and followed old traditions, said to be as ancient as the river. After autopsies, pathologists gave the remains to Mr. Abgel, who held funerals that were unlike any others. He used sacred herbs like sage, rue, and black salt, burning them while chanting strange words in old languages. Only he and the Wushang Society understood the silver symbols on each shroud, as well as the reason for the midnight vigil that followed, to ensure nothing unnatural would return. While Mr. Abgel managed these secret tasks, his twin sons, Castor and Pollux, kept watch inside the funeral home. The boys looked just like their father, with strong jaws and intense eyes that seemed to see beyond the surface. Their presence was more than just comforting. It helped protect against hidden dangers from other worlds. Their father trained them with challenging physical exercises, like sparring in hidden courtyards and running between tombstones, and with strict mental routines such as reciting mantras or meditating in front of family relics. In the evenings, the twins studied old books by lamplight, uncovering their family's hidden history. They read about the Garnet Warrior, guardians who fought monsters long ago, and warnings about the dangers of the demon realm. They learned about the world beyond the veil, a place full of shadows and danger. Their studies were practical too. Castor and Pollux planned escape routes, learned the weaknesses of ghostly enemies, and practiced rituals to keep the barrier between worlds strong. Mr. Abgul's stories became living spells, swirling through the candlelit kitchen like whispered incantations. Around the battered oak table, his voice wove tales of victories snatched from monstrous jaws and losses that stained the soul, painting each memory with the colors of both warning and wonder. He conjured images of demonic corruption, flesh blooming with unnatural fever, shadows lengthening in the corners of a room, and taught his sons to see the razor-fine line between courage and recklessness. Trust, he insisted, must run deeper than blood, and power, once called upon, demanded reverence. With every tale spun and every midnight drill, the twins' duty sharpened to a sacred blade, their resolve crystallizing. Their family wasn't just to tend the dead, but to guard the living from the nightmares that prowled the world's frayed edges. One evening, beneath a swollen moon, Castor and Pollux sparred in perfect synchrony on the funeral home's training facility within the massive basement, their forms fluid and precise, a duet of strength and discipline. Sweat glistened on their brows as they exchanged blows, each movement a testament to years of training and to the bond forged by adversity. Elsewhere, in a study wreathed in shadows and lined with forbidden tomes, Mr. Abgul pored over a cryptic letter from Dr. Wolf and Dr. Hinderlitter, oblivious to the darkness gathering beyond the lantern-lit windows. This darkness would soon test every lesson the family had ever learned. On a night threaded with the hum of fluorescent lights and the ghostly echo of past autopsies, Mr. Abgel's scalpel danced a forbidden ballet, slicing through flesh that shimmered with an unholy sheen. Purple blood did not simply spill, it blossomed, an oily nebula swirling across the stainless steel expanse, pooling around organs cocooned in tar and steam. Anatomy became alchemy. Each cut released secrets that slithered and coiled in the air, arteries pulsing with forbidden knowledge, viscera sighing with the memory of worlds undone, as Mr. Abgul's blade whispered along the creature's belly, a toxic exhalation billowed. From the acidic cauldron of its gut, the impossible arose, a Louisiana driver's license, luminous and unscathed, bobbing in the viscera like a talisman dredged from nightmare. Silence crashed over the room. Mr. Abgul's hand hovered, caught between realms, phone slick in his grip. Dr. Wolf lunged for the item, eyes blown wide, as if seeing prophecy inscribed in plastic. Dread thickened the air until even the dead seemed to listen. The corpse had not given up a clue, but a curse, a summons, a secret meant to unravel. When Mr. Abgul's nephew answered, his silhouette stretched tall and spectral against the flickering hallway lights. His voice, usually ironclad, now trembled like a violin string plucked by unseen hands, urgency and dread dueling in each syllable. This was the detective who wrestled riddles from the city's darkest corners, but tonight gravity bent his words. "I'll call you back," he muttered, the phrase a snapped thread, and the line went dead, leaving silence that prickled like static in the marrow of the room. "What shade of ghost have you seen, Dr. Wolf?" Mr. Abgul asked, his curiosity sharp as a scalpel, slicing through the room's electric hush. Dr. Wolf's voice shivered on the edge of a confession. "I know this license. It's my cousin, Nate." His face twisted, horror, disbelief and grief warring beneath the harsh fluorescent wash. How could his license surface from the entrails of a monster? The words dropped like stones into the sterile silence, a tide of dread rising to fill the space. "When did your paths last cross?" Mr. Abgul pressed, urgency and compassion braided in his tone. 4 days back," Dr. Wolf whispered, voice brittle as old paper. He conjured the memory. A chance encounter in Neptune Medical's labyrinthine halls, Nate propped up on crisp white linens, grinning through the bland fog of hospital fare. Their words danced lightly, family, food, the weather, yet beneath each syllable, Dr. Wolf felt the brush of something cold and unseen, a shadow flitting just out of sight. He hadn't recognized it for what it was, the prelude to vanishing. Did Nate say why he was caged in that place? Which ward held him? Mr. Abgall asked, his voice barbed with urgency, leaning in as though he might catch the echo of a secret. The spectre of foul play seemed to flicker in the space between words, hinting at dangers lurking in Neptune's shadowy wings. Chest pains, that's all he said, Dr. Wolf replied, worry carved deep in the lines of his face, as if each word cut a little deeper into old stone. We'll exhume the truth, no matter how deep it's buried, Dr. Hinderleiter promised, voice soft as velvet over steel.